Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. This is going to be another one of those wing it off the cuff breakdowns. I'm going to go over Tony Ferguson versus Khabib Nurmagomedov, how these guys match up. They should be throwing down in April. Tony signed his contract. I have done other breakdowns for it, but I'm just going to speak from the heart and get into this matchup. All right, so what makes this fight so compelling? This is a true super fight. You got Tony Ferguson, who holds the lightweight record for consecutive wins. That's 12. Khabib Nurmagomedov also has 12 wins at lightweight. I actually think they're tied for that record. I'm not sure, though. Khabib, of course, is 28-0. Absolutely insane. Great record. Undefeated. Says it all. Tony Ferguson, as we all know, is an absolute monster. Crazy resume. Just like runs through people. Barbarian, as Eddie Bravo says. Why do these guys match up so well? Well, I've been saying this for a long time. I believe that Tony Ferguson is Khabib Nurmagomedov's quote kryptonite. He's a tough matchup. Justin Gaethje's a tough matchup. Gaethje's a tough matchup for his own reasons. I'm not going to get into that. But as far as Tony, all right, so let's break it down. So what does Khabib do? Khabib's not a striker. Khabib strikes long enough to set up the takedown. He either tries to double leg you, hurt you against the cage, work his game, rip you to the mat, control your hips, smashes you from the top position, gets you to react to the ground and pound, maybe give up your back, or he'll just pound you out for the stoppage. That's what Khabib wants to do. Top game. Let's look at Tony Ferguson. Great BJJ, scrambles his ass off, super dangerous striking, very unorthodox, wild and crazy, but again, dangerous striking, throws everything in the kitchen sink at you standing. He's definitely, without a doubt, going to have the edge in striking against Khabib. I mean, there's like no question about that. Tony has a background in wrestling. He's very confident. I think that is going to play a factor. Is he a better wrestler than Khabib? I don't think so. I think pound for pound, in the pure wrestling, Khabib is the better wrestler. But it's MMA. You don't have to be the greatest wrestler. You don't have to be the best BJJ guy, like a specialist. It's mixed martial arts. There's a lot of things at play, many variables. Let's take GSP, for example. GSP has no serious wrestling background, but he incorporated his wrestling skill into MMA perfectly, and he out-wrestled decorated wrestlers. How does that happen? Again, it's mixed martial arts. When you add in everything that encompasses MMA, it just completely changes the game. So is Khabib's wrestling going to be as dominant as it's always been against Tony Ferguson? It might be. That's a big question mark. I do think he's going to out-wrestle Tony. I think Tony's going to put up a fight. I think the fight that Tony puts up is going to affect Khabib's cardio. He's not going to be an easy guy to take down, I'll say that. And when Tony's on his back, he's always active. The guy's always scrambling for one. So it's kind of hard to pin his hips. But if you do get him on the ground, Tony Ferguson's always active. He's always looking for the sweep, looking for a submission. He's throwing elbows off the ground. He's going to cut you up. He's going to hurt you off his back. And I think that's going to play a huge factor in this fight. Khabib's going to have to be on guard at all times. Another factor is Tony's pace and his cardio. I do think that Khabib has good cardio. Anybody that has grappled, competed, any experience in wrestling, BJJ, that grappling fucking saps your energy. It's very taxing on the body, very taxing cardio-wise. And based on Khabib's game and what he does, there's no way that he can't have good cardio and stamina. He's a wrestler, predominantly a wrestler. So, great cardio, but it's not going to be Tony Ferguson cardio. Tony Ferguson's cardio is, some of the best in the game. It might be the best in the game. So the longer that this fight goes, the more that it's going to favor Ferguson. So again, to break this fight down, what they do, what they're good at, Khabib again, top game. That's his thing. Wrestling, top game. Smash you, get you to turn over, or win via ground and pound, right? Ferguson scrambles, great cardio, good off his back, great BJJ, tricky, crafty BJJ. So he's definitely going to be a big challenge for Khabib. Can I see Khabib winning this fight? Absolutely. I think Khabib could dominate Tony in the wrestling, get him down, land some ground and pound, wash, rinse, repeat, and win via decision. I don't see Khabib finishing Tony, but I could see him, you know, controlling him again with the wrestling and winning a decision. How I see Tony winning this fight, I think Tony actually has a lot more options to win. He could decision Khabib. He could submit Khabib, you know, with a Darce choke, some kind of choke when Khabib is shooting in, a guillotine choke, whatever. Tony is very crafty with the submissions. He's also physically strong. So the submission is there. The decision is there. And of course, Tony Ferguson could TKO or knock out Khabib. So Tony, in my humble opinion, has more ways to win. But that's just me. That's how I'm thinking. Who do I think is going to win this fight? And how do I think this fight's going to play out? I would not count out Khabib. He's amazing at what he does. Very specialized fighter. He's predominantly a wrestler again. That's what he does. He could very well control Tony and win the fight via wrestling the way he always does with every other opponent. What I think is going to happen is I think that Tony's going to give him fits for the takedowns. I think he's going to be wily and crafty enough to give him fits in the grappling, which is going to tax Khabib cardio-wise. And in like the third round, fourth round, Khabib's probably going to start fading a little bit, not be able to shoot in as easy, you know, secure those takedowns. And if it stays on the feet, Tony's going to pick him apart. Simple as that. Tony Ferguson is going to tear Khabib apart on the feet. And that's exactly what I think is going to happen. I think it's going to be competitive for the first or two rounds. Third round is going to start. The momentum's going to start swinging. Tony is going to start wearing on Khabib. Khabib's going to slow down a little bit. And like I said, if it stays on the feet, Tony is going to handily take this fight. So my pick for this fight definitely is Tony Ferguson to win. Wouldn't shock me at all if he gets the, you know, the definitive win via submission or stoppage. I think more than likely a stoppage. I could see a decision because Khabib's tough, but I think Tony's actually gonna shock the world and pull something off and stop Khabib. But these, of course, are just my thoughts on this fight. You guys let me know what you think about the matchup. Are you excited for it? I know I am. I think this is like this generation's super fight. You know what I mean? This is like the Fedor Crow Cop of 2019. Super stoked for this matchup. Cannot wait. Again, you guys drop those picks in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, click subscribe, like the video, share. Appreciate it, guys. It all helps the channel grow. And until the next segment, you guys take care.